Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. You know the definition of hypocrisy, right? Asking some other people to uphold certain kind of rules or values when you don't, and you keep them, hold them responsible if they don't. And that, in this case, I think is the case of many countries. I think we're all guilty of doing that at one point or another in our lives, and more or less. The thing is, if you realize that or if you don't realize that, well, if someone comes and tells you, hey, Emil, you're a hypocrite, I say, okay, give me an example. And if they provide me with an example, I say, yeah, okay, that's right, that's true. I'm sorry, I'm going to change my behavior. And saying sorry means I will change my behavior. And I change my behavior because I want to be better, not because I want to make you feel better. Okay, so that will, and I thank you because you pointed it out to me and you helped me improve myself. That's the whole thing here. So it's a selfish thank you if you want to take it that way. But if you realize that you're doing, someone tells you and say, hey, you're a hypocrite, you say, yes, but you know what? I don't give a damn. Now that makes you not only a hypocrite, that makes you an evil, and you're not going to evolve, I would say. All right, so let's see. This article is coming from the Voice of Ukraine, and it's from today, November 21st, 2022. UK, United Kingdom, quietly imports tens of millions worth of Russian oil, the Times reports. Now, you know what that is? So, US imports tens of millions worth of Russian oil from the bad dudes. They're not supposed to. And, and they know it. All right. Thanks to the shrewd use of loopholes in the sanctions regime, companies in the United Kingdom have continued to import Russian oil worth tens of millions of US dollars, UK newspaper The Times reported on November 20th. In June, July, so they wanted sanctions, but then they, you know what I mean, do this. And they know it. Because they know how to use the loopholes, because who created the loopholes? Holes. The same guys who take advantage of them. In June, July 2022, the ports of the United Kingdom received Russian oil worth $94 million. But according to the publication officially, this import is not classed as coming from Russia. It came to the country through the use of loopholes in regulations that allow the origin of the oil to be obscured. So that means, I don't even know how to, I think it's clear cut, you know. It's just because you say, well, I can't have, let's say, this kind of candy coming from Iran. But Iran sends the candy to Romania, the Romanians put another wrapping with a different name and gives it to you, that you're not supposed to have the product, the candy from Iran, but you have it from Romania, but it's Iranian made. But that's a loophole. That's like the bottom feeder mentality. Well, actually, it's not from there. Really? It's like you have, I don't even know how to make an analogy to sound even crazier than this. I don't know, a pedophile who identifies himself as, I don't know, John, comes to a party and you say you can't come because you're John the pedophile, and he goes home, he changes differently, comes to you and say, well, I'm not John, I'm Michael right now. I would like to come and join your child's party. Really? Your birthday party. Okay, all right, come on. You have different clothes now. You're not John, you're Michael. So kind of like that. So about $27 million of Russian oil has been delivered to the UK port of Immingham in Lincolnshire since March. However, the oil was registered as imports from Germany, the Netherlands and Belgium. Wow, so these are the intermediaries. I thought that they are also under sanctioning the bad boy Russia. At the same time, since March, 10 British ports have received $919 million worth of Russian oil. Approximately $236 million of this amount came in June and July. Yet, according to official data, the United Kingdom did not buy Russian oil during this period. No, because it was dressed differently. It was the same shit, but with a different wrapping. That doesn't make it the shit. It makes it something else. That's because the UK Office for National Statistics takes into account the sending country, not the oil producer. If the original producer of the oil is taken into account, UK imports of Russian oil in June and July were worth almost $95 million. The Times said Russian oil tankers can evade sanctions by pumping their oil onto other ships while on the high seas, often disabling their GPS transponders so they cannot be tracked while doing so. I said that the first day these guys said we're gonna do that, I said this is exactly what the Russians will do. Take it from their tankers into some agreed, approved tankers and sold on the stupid markets that place the ban or the sanctions. And how did I know that? Not because I'm a genius, but because I'm Romanian. And Romanians are weasels and they think of this kind, how to cut corners. At each corner, they cut it. And they think, oh, all right, we're supposed to go from point A to point B. Okay, let's go. This is the British way. A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. I've been told this by an English guy, okay? His first name starts with a J, all right? So he said, we're A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. He said, you guys are like, hey, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that's what we do. We're like, okay, from A to B, how can we freaking do it with the least effort? And if we can maybe, violate the law, we're going to do that. And definitely, that's the first thing a Romanian thinks. I'm generalizing, obviously, and making it a little bit funny, but not really. And the Americans and the Brits and the Germans are like, yes, eins, zwei, drei. Yeah, let's go. Jawohl, boom. Okay, yeah, right, on you go. Then Romania is like, and gets there first. Thank you very much. And that's why the Romanians are where they are, because they don't follow orders. They're not disciplined. Anyway, they have laws. They have the same laws you guys have. The problem is they're not upheld. They're not, they're not punished. You're not caught because they're all the same. Not all the same. I'm exaggerating, but you get the point. Anyway, so yes, these guys, I knew exactly what the Russians will do because I know the mentality of a weasel thief, if you want. And you can say, well, the adaptability, so the ability to adapt to new circumstances shows a superior organism. Yes, so that makes thieves superior because they evade the laws, it seems like, because they adapt quickly. In one incident recorded in May, the tanker Mariner 3rd left the southern Russian port of Tuapse with a cargo of 200,000 barrels of oil. After 5 days at sea, the vessel anchored next to a larger tanker owned by the what the hell is going on? Let me find it. Yeah, owned by Greek company Marinula. The ships halted near the town of Kalamata in Greek waters, so they can be, fucked up over there. Over the next 36 hours, both vessels were connected by large pipes. After taking on oil from Mariner 3rd or 3, the Greek vessel headed to the US coast, where it moored in Immingham and unloaded about 250,000 barrels of oil on June 6. Fantastic, right? In early November, the UK introduced additional restrictions on the purchases of Russian oil. Meanwhile, the G7 countries and Australia have agreed to set a fixed ceiling for Russian oil prices instead of the dynamic corridor as proposed earlier. Well, they will evade that. Don't worry. They will evade it, and these guys created the paths to evading those, because we because we are how socialized with certain kind of values and all that, and we should be this. And if you, I'm always giving this example, if you drive over the speed limit, you get a ticket, you get this, you get the law enforcement next to you telling you, and yeah, and they say, oh my, that's how it is, man, we have to follow rules and all that. Good, great. But they are out there, they tell you, yeah, we're going to sanction Russia and all that. But what they do, the sanctions, we say, oh, well, see, They are doing exactly what we are doing. We are moral, we are superior, we are this, we are extraordinary country, we're extraordinary people, which I don't think we're extraordinary. I think we're maybe follow rules better and enforce those rules better than others, and are disciplined, and a little bit of a different culture, I would say. But then you find out that those guys created those kind of rules in a way that left so many doors that could be, violated, that you can just go through and do hanky-panky like this in this case. And if you don't follow through and you don't get these articles, and you don't try to do a little bit of personal research over there, you don't figure out that they actually is just for us, to keep us. See, the government keeps the Russians their feet to the fire. Yes, man, that's why I will drive 35 miles per hour here. I'm not gonna drive 36 because, see, I have to be correct and fair because they are over there too. You lose faith in the government, and you lose faith in the society, how it's ran, when you see that other people who are just committing crimes or cutting corners are not really, how should I put it, penalized. And you say, what's going on here? Why am I, but they're not? And you're penalized with a freaking traffic ticket, and those guys making hundreds of millions of dollars. Anyway, congratulations for the cheap oil you got from Russia. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.